The Filipino people are the happiest people I've ever met in my entire life. They love Americans, love them. And so, I mean, I've heard things about Philippines, like, not being safe or whatever, but I think for the most part, like, also they're very superstitious. So the fact that we have a badge that says Jesus Christ, they, like, won't do anything wrong. They won't, like, be rude to you, for the most part. And then they just love Americans, and they know missionaries. They know what our badge means. They know, especially elders. Like, everyone knows it, even if they're not members or are members or whatever. Like, they just know, and they really respect the church. They really value religion. They are mostly all Catholic, and they, like, every house you go in, it's the neatest thing, because no matter what, pretty much any house you go in, there's just pictures of Jesus Christ everywhere. And so they love Jesus Christ. They love talking about him. It's not weird to go up to someone and be like, hey, we're missionaries. Like, we want to share a message about Jesus Christ. They're like, yeah, come in. Even if they don't want to hear it, even if they're set in their religion, even if they're not very religious, they'll let you in just because it's like for respect for Jesus Christ. And so it's really easy to talk to people. You can talk to hundreds of people a day. It's so easy to, for the most part, I mean, there's hard times, but for the most part, it's really easy to get into people's houses. It's pretty easy to, share a message, share your belief, to place Book of Mormons. That was never really a struggle. I mean, I've heard of missionaries serving in the Philippines, serving in Tacloban, that they go days without talking to people, but I think being a sister and also being American, like, really, it was fairly easy to talk to them. They value families, and I feel like most of them have the same values as the church, the same standards. They're very modest people. So it's just kind of helping them see, like, how their values and their beliefs, like, go right along with ours, and helping them see that, the truth in it, and that it, like, has so much deeper meaning to their life than, like, what they think. But yeah, they're very happy. They're very genuine. They're so giving. They love to give gifts. You'll see someone come into church, or you're just, like, walking on the street, and you're like, oh, I love your shirt, it's so cute. And they're like, here, do you want it? And they would literally get it off their back and give it to you. Like, they just like to give things. And even if they have nothing, they'll just give you something. Whenever you transfer an area or are leaving, they call it remembrances, like a small remembrance. And you'll just come home, and they'll just give you, like, bring you shirts, and they'll bring you shoes, and they'll just, like, bring you anything that they have so that you can remember them. They celebrate Christmas, but it's not really that big. Their main holiday, I would say, from what I saw, is October 31st and November 1st. It's like All Saints Day and All Souls Day. And it's kind of weird. They have a lot of weird traditions with it. But I can't remember which one's All Saints and which one's All Souls. But one of them, they'll go and they'll sleep in the graveyard. I had a companion that was Filipino, and so she was telling me about, like, some of the things that they do. They'll take dinner to the graves, and they'll just, like, leave it on the graves, and they won't eat it, but it's, like, for their deceased loved ones. Or they'll be at their house, and they'll have dinners, and they light a candle, and they set it out on their porch, and that kind of, like, lights the way for the saints or their deceased ones to come and eat with them. And they'll have this huge feast. Like, they go all out. It would be like our Thanksgiving, kind of. Like, they go all out with the food. And they'll, like, save most of it, or, like, wait until, like, their ancestors have eaten it and stuff. What else do they do on that holiday? It's, like, really big. Like, for weeks, they'll, like, be cleaning up the graves. And, like, their graveyards are different. They're not in the ground. They're just, like, boxes of cement kind of type thing outside of the ground. And so, yeah, they'll stay there. Some people will stay there, like, 3 nights leading up to it. And we were not allowed to work on those days because they're really into drinking. And so they'll, like, do that. They love... birthdays are a big thing, but it's opposite. Here, if it's someone's birthday, people bring you gifts, people make dinner for you, people throw a party for you. But there, if it's your birthday, you're like the host, and you are like making dinner for everyone, and you're just like doing all these things to your birthday. They'll make like huge posters, and they'll like give things. Like, it's just opposite. It's like I said, they're very giving, and so that's a different thing. On birthdays, they have their spaghetti is sweet, and so it's like a dessert type thing, and so they always have spaghetti on birthday parties or like for holidays. As far as like relationships with like boys and girls go, like I don't think I ever saw a Filipino and a Filipino kiss. Like they don't show PDA at all. They don't like hold hands, they don't do anything, but like girls and girls, not that they like each other, but just like friends and like guy, like you'll see like the little kids, it's so cute, like the little boys, and they always like have their arms around each other, and they're always like hugging each other, like, so you can like do it with your own sex, but you like if you're like dating someone or whatever, you can't, like, you just like don't show that in public. So when they point, they don't point with their hands, they point with their lips, so they're like point over there. And then if you ask someone something and they don't hear you, like they don't answer what, they'll just like open their jaw, like they'll be like, and so that means what, and so you're like talking to someone and they're like, and you're like at first you don't really get it, and so you're like, you know, like, why are you not answering me? But it's because they're like saying like what, like they didn't hear you. Also for yes, they just like raise their eyebrows, so instead of being like yeah, like they won't answer you, they'll just be like they don't, you can't, this is something you can't do. You don't like call people like this or like come here, like that's weird, but you do it this way, so it's like come here, and if you do this, it's like really weird and creepy.